It is me again, Capri, Bao Shen. Today I will walk you through the Lanzhou Bank Cup 2024 Lanzhou Marathon. And we're going to have a wonderful journey of 3 to 4 hours together. And let's just get started. So, first things first, at 7:30, there will be 14 minutes later, the starting gun will be fired for the Lanzhou Bank Cup 2024 Lanzhou Marathon at the Lanzhou Olympic Sports Center, which is where I am today. And the race consists of 4 events: marathon, half marathon, health run, and family run. And now we can see the image of the starting point of the Lanzhou Marathon, and people are gathering, and you can see this crowds and crowds of people. And now you can see right now is the Olympic Center in Lanzhou. And how you can, well, I really wish you could see all those people cheering. And there was performance a minute ago with drums and kung fu fans, like kind of performance that's very, very exciting to get started with all this enthusiasm of the Lanzhou people. Okay, and there's a total size of 40,000 participants, including 20,000 participants in marathon, 6,000 participants in half marathon, 8,000 participants in health run, and 6,000 participants in the family run. And this event, compared with previous races, this year's Lanzhou Marathon will adopt full and half mixed division mechanism for the first time. The letter at the beginning of the runner's bib number shows the starting division. There are 11 divisions in the run today, which are S, A, B, C till K, and among them, S, A, and B are the marathon subdivisions. And for the S division, there will be in the elite groups, that is very fancy league, ladies and gentlemen. So stay tuned. And C, D, E, F, and G are the mixed division of the full and half course, and H and J are the healthy running zones, and K is a family run zone. So now let's take a look at the course. So for the marathon, we shall start and finish at the Lanzhou Olympic Center, which is a loop course. So basically, they will be running along the Yellow River on the south bank until reaching the Jingyan Bridge, which is around 16 to 17 kilometers, and then cross the bridge, continue to run on the north bank along the river and make a U-turn at 33 kilometers and across the Intan Bridge, and then finally back to the Olympic Sports Center. And for the half marathon, they will be running just along the south bank of the Yellow River, and it's a point-to-point course. And for health and family run, the starting point is located in Lanzhou Olympic Center, Sports Center, and ending point is located at the cross of Martin North Road. So, we have also set the performance threshold for each division based on the best results of a runner in the category A event, that is marathon or half marathon, certified by the Chinese Athletics Association between December the 21st, 2022 and to May the 6th, 2024. So, which means that if your best results meet any of the threshold, you will be assigned to the exact division that will also include your recourse, which should be more encouraging and fun. Okay, there's a video clip for Lanzhou.
它是童年的滋味。 它是少年的风发，更是心中无法忘却的城。有人说，兰州人的一天是从一碗牛肉面开始的。或者说，是一种滚烫浓烈的热情，唤醒了这座城市。 行走在这座城市中，每一次的偶遇，都会萌生一种想要了解它的冲动。1700多年前，在兰州经商的粟特商人就在书信里讲述了当时的京城观，印证了兰州联络四域，金代万里。你会发现，这座城市里的一切都有着自己的故事，也无时无刻不散发着一种属于这个城市的精神。
到兰州已经有64年了，我觉得这片黄土地和这条母亲河，给了我无尽的感受。
在我的印象里面，黄河就是兰州，兰州就是黄河，我就属于兰州，我就属于黄河。
我想，兰州大学居皋兰山下，立黄河之滨，以诚为名，与诚共兴。对于我们50多万兰大的校友学子来说，无论我们走多远，京城兰州永远是我们的家。
在他们身上，我看到了一步一步踏出的无悔奉献。青春的兰州，正在挥洒青春芳华的绿色转型梦想。重振兰州制造，又让我看到了当年的兰州。新兰州人还是那样包容天下，坚韧不拔，默默点亮重振兰州辉煌的每个角落。
就是要在这春意盎然、生机勃发的日子里，吹响强省会行动的号角，雷响高质量发展筋骨，奏响中国式现代化兰州实践的时代强音。
这是属于兰州的故事，有我，同样也会有你。兰州，我们共有的家；黄河，我们的母亲河，永远的幸福河。
先生们，兰州银行杯2024兰州马拉松
Now we are back. So what's happening at the starting line is that there is a ceremony for the beginning of the Lanzhou Marathon 2024. But we're gonna go with the details of this marathon. So in accordance with the marathon and half marathon result mixed subdivision, of which S zone is the elite zone, which I mentioned before. So this S zone invited elite athletes with the best results among the registered personnel that meets the technical grade standards for track and field athletes issued by General Administration of Sport of the State of China Marathon Athlete Performance Standard, which is for men's marathon there were 2:20 and women's marathon 2:40, which is pretty good. And so let's get to the exciting part about the placing prize for this marathon. So the top 8 men and women will be admitted and according to the shooting results and will receive the prize respectively for the first place, there will be $50,000, and you will have to enter 2080. And if you're out 2080, you will be given $45,000, which is pretty good. And there is also a special bonus for the Chinese marathon participants. The top 8 Chinese male and female contestants will be admitted and receive bonuses respectively. So let's pay good attention to the opening time and the closing time of our marathon. So firstly, you'll see in about it's 07:27 now. That's 3 minutes from the gun fired for the marathon today. And the closest full marathon is 1:40 p.m. So pay attention to that. If you are finishing after that time, you'll have to wait for the 8 buses to pick you up. And also, let's take a look at today's event highlights. So we can see the enthusiasm is building up and burning. So since the first race that was held in 2011, Lanzhou citizens for 10 years has become the most representative feature of Lanzhou Marathon. And this year's Lanzhou Marathon is no other. They are open to the whole society to recruit captains of the national cheerleading teams to ignite the racetrack and to create a more enthusiastic, warm and loving atmosphere. Wow, behold, that's something for you to see. And since the recruitment of the event, we have received thousands of registration emails, and we have selected 77 people from thousands to enter the second interview. And this activity attracted people from 29 cities and regions to participate in the application. The youngest candidates are among 7 years old, and the oldest is 65 years old. Wow. So you will see the first cheerleading performance awaits at 7 km just beside the Lily Park, and there will be 14 more along the course. So, also, after more than 10 years of accumulation and development, Lanzhou Marathon has become not only a sports event, but also a window and platform to display the achievements of the urban development and to promote urban exchanges and to boost economic consumption. According to the statistics, the holdings of 2023 Lanzhou Marathon has greatly stimulated sports tourism, which is very good. So 30 seconds from the short shooting gun. Right now, let's wait and see. Okay, now we get the image of the starting ceremony of the 2024 Lanzhou Marathon. So basically, you will see the elite groups at the front of the starting line, and they're all waiting. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, the gun is shot. Yeah. And that is the beginning of the 2024 Lanzhou Marathon. You can see the flag is running at the front. And we have got in the first pack of league of the group is the Ethiopian runners. And then you can see, wow, that is a crowd. And just along the course, you will see people waving flags and cheering for the marathon runners. What a scene to be seen. People were shouting out there. I can hear it from the earphones. So basically, they're running toward the first curve band of the course. You can see people dressed in different colors of costumes, which is really great to see. That youth, that energy. People are waving their hands and cheering when they were running, and they were very happy, very enthusiastic to see and to participate such a great event of the year. So that is the overview, the bird view of the starting line. As you can see, there are people just running towards the starting line, and that is because we have in this running race, we have both gun time and net time provided. So in the running races, especially the long distance like marathon, you might encounter two ways when your time is measured: the gun time and net time. Net time is also called as chip time. So the cheering, yeah, the jumping. Okay. For the gun time, this is a simpler method. It's timed. It is the time elapsed from when the race officially starts, and usually with a gunshot or horn when you cross, and to where you cross the finish line. This is traditionally used to determine the winner of a race, emphasizing who physically crosses the finish line first. And it's also important to maintain the excitement and competitive atmosphere of the race. And for the net time or chip time, this is a more precise measurement that considers the time it actually takes you to run up the whole course. So it uses timing chips worn by participants, and the timer starts when you cross the starting mat and stops when you cross the finish line mat. This is a more personal measurement that reflects your actual running performance on the course. So it's often used for individual goals like setting personal records, the PBs, the PRs, or qualifying for other races. So basically the net time will always be less than the gun time, because it doesn't account for the time that it takes you to get from the starting line to the starting mat. So yeah, well, we can see now it's an overview of so many people running together. I just love to see this. You can see they love doing the sports, they love marathon, and they feel good about themselves to run along with the best runners of marathon here in Lanzhou. So yeah, basically the people on the platform, they are, encouraging people to run a little bit faster and to run with enthusiasm and their energy to the finishing line. Let's wish them very good luck. So for today's marathon, we also get first aid runners and pacers. So in this competition, we'll have a total of 88 pacers or rabbits recruited, including 60 marathon runners and 28 half marathon runners. And the pacers shall be able to get the athletes across till the halfway of the marathon. And if they want to go a little bit further for the prize, and if they see there's any chance of them winning the prize, they will choose to continue to go along the route. But mostly they will just accompany them along the way till the half of the marathon. And now we can see in the little image down here that we have a police vehicle that at the very beginning, at the leading group, that helps the runners to get a very clear view of the course of where they were going. And Lanzhou has basically stop and lock down the area where the marathon is taking place to ensure that the runners have the best experience, which is really remarkable. So now we get a glimpse of the Yellow River Tower. So we are kicking off at Lanzhou Olympic Sports Center, and now we can see the first stop point, not the stop point, but the first scenic, the tourist attraction for people to see is the Yellow River Tower. So that will be around 2 to 3 kilometers mark. So the runners will find themselves passing by the awe-inspiring Yellow River Tower, also known as the first tower of the Yellow River. This majestic structure, modeled after the ancient Tang Dynasty poetry and historic records, offers a panoramic views of the Lanzhou breathtaking landscape. Now we can see there are journalists just beside the course, trying to introducing the whole image to the crowd. And the Yellow River Tower stands as a cultural beacon embodying the essence of Yellow River culture, Silk Road culture, and the city's rich, multi-ethnic heritage. It's a testament to Lanzhou's proud status as the Yellow River capital. So the journalist has spurred up the energy and the shouting and also the cheering for the crowd for the very first glimpse of our elite pack at the very front. So you can see people running. The very first pack of the league is running towards the Yellow River Tower. So the cheering, that is a very, very tightly and organized group of elite packs. So now back on the finishing line. So basically, we're still seen at the Lanzhou Olympic Sports Center. The Lanzhou Olympic Sports Center, it's a very impressive complex. Comprises the one stadium, 3 arenas, the Rose Stadium, the Tulip Comprehensive Gymnasium, Lotus Tennis Hall, and Lily Swimming Hall, as well as the Lanhua Sports Complex, outdoor fitness facilities, athletes' apartment, and sports industry-related buildings. The Lanzhou Olympic Sports Center's architectural design draws inspiration from the flowing of the ribbons of Dunhuang flying attire, linking a cluster of flower-themed buildings to create a magnificent spectacle of one Yellow River connecting 2 banks. Now we have the list of the elite athletics for men. For the first is Bilei Shifro. And now we're going to the Gaopeng, Guan Yousheng, and Jiae Renjia Sangji Dongzhi from China, which is very likely to claim the first in the Chinese athletes. Well, so basically people were trying to make their way to the starting point. And we also have the list of elite athletes for women. And we can say, Wang Ming, Zhong Jiameng, and before that, we have Jiao Anjing from China. So let's, I will show you some facts about Lanma, all right? So it's it's a very elite marathon because it's a double gold event, both recognized by IAAF gold label and China Athletics Association gold medal. So it's one of the top 5 marathons in China and the first ever to have a international signal. And I've always loved the city with, water nearby, so it just brings life to the whole city. And the water, we will see later, is usually very generous to provide people with food, transportation, and so on, especially in such a dry province in Gansu. Now we can see people are waving towards the cameras and to show they're very determined and happy to be here today. So basically, I believe the elite pack, or the first pack of league, has already crossed the 110 of the whole race. So let's have a little bit of reruns of the, now we can see there's an elite group pack right there running, and I think the people wearing the very kind of pink and fluorescent shirts are the pacers, I believe. Maybe. Hopefully we'll get a closer glimpse of them. So I was honored to be here to walk you through the last year's Lanzhou Marathon, and I remember it was around 27, 28 degrees centigrade, a bit cloudy first and then sunny, and the athletes did very well by breaking the meeting records for both men and women. So we've got 5 Ethiopian athletes and 1 Kenyan in the male and female top 3. So last year's first place goes to Kiros Kebati, breaking the record of 2:10:10 set by Abayane Ayao Wood Georgis in 2015. And the second place is Meswin Wood Tessa, also Ethiopian, has the record of 2:10:31, who has also decided to attend today's event. So his personal best is 2:09:28, set in 2019 in Xiamen International Marathon. And in 2023, he participated in 3 marathon events in China, in Lanzhou Marathon in June, the 33rd Dalian Marathon in October, with the result of 2:11:26, and also Kunming Marathon in December, finishing at 2:11:51 in first place. And for the women's, last year's first place is Gebrselassie from Ethiopian, 2:29:09, and who is also running today with the bib number 37. She broke the record of 2:30:22 made by Utkanesh Gumesa in 2019. And she has also competed in many other events, including the 5,000 meters, 5, 10, 15 kilometers road, and also half marathon. So her personal best is 2:24:47, set in 2018 Dongying Yellow River Marathon. So, will she successfully defend her title this time, and perhaps even be able to refresh her personal best and to refresh the meeting record again? We have no idea. We'll have to wait and see. And we still got loads of people making their way across the starting line. Wow, there were so many of them. And last year's second place for women is Tadalech Bekele Nedi, who is also competing today with bib number 38. So last year, she's running into 2:30:04, which is not bad at all. And for today's Chinese athletes, let's take a little bit look at them. So for the bib number 13, we've got Gao Peng. Hopefully we'll see him in the first of the league group right there. So it's currently 17 degrees centigrade, and today is very cloudy today. We don't see that much of the sun rays because that's what Lanzhou is famous for, the sun rays. And I think today will be a very, very good weather for the athletes to break their own records, because this not very hot at the moment, and very cozy temperature to start the race. And the sensible temperature now is 16 degrees centigrade, which is really good for people to, maintain their energy along the way with not so much sweating at the very beginning of the race. So for today's humidity, we actually have here the 60% of humidity, which is really, really rare for Lanzhou in this time of the year, because we just had a bit of raining the day before yesterday, and quite heavily actually, and so that today's humidity is very good also for the marathon race. So, ladies and gentlemen, do get ready for the exhilarating journey through the high-altitude terrain of Lanzhou, where the Lanzhou Marathon promises to be a test of endurance and resilience like no other. So, as we embark on this sporting spectacle, let's see, Lanzhou is nestled amidst the rugged peaks of China's northwest. It lies at an average elevation of 1,570 meters. This unique setting means that the marathon course will be far from a flat run. Instead, the runners will face a relentless roller coaster of ascents and descents, demanding far more about their bodies than a typical lowland marathon. So that's the challenge there. But that's not all that awaits our intrepid athletes. The thin air at the altitude will pose an additional challenge. With less oxygen available, runners will find their muscles working harder, the blood carrying less oxygen, and fatigue setting in sooner than they might expect. And the dreaded wall, the point where the body screams for rest, is likely to hit around 23 kilometers mark, significantly earlier than the lower altitude race. And if that wasn't enough, there's the sun to contend with. But today we do not have to worry that much about that. But we'll see around noon, obviously the radiation will be higher than now. So Lanzhou's intense ultraviolet radiation can cause a sunburn, even on a very leisurely stroll. So let alone a grueling marathon, runners will need to be extra vigilant with their sunscreens and hydration. Hope they've applied that, despite today's cloudy start, as the relentless sun will sap their energy and exacerbate the effects of altitude and exertion. But fear not, the Lanzhou Marathon is very sweet to have been fully aware of these challenges and have taken steps to mitigate them. So along the course, there will be plenty of water stations, electrolyte replacement drinks, and even shaded areas for those seeking a moment of respite for the sun's glare. So it's a race that will test their physical and mental limits for these people. Okay, we are having a look of the Chinese athletes running right there. So they're very composed for now, and hopefully they will remain this composed to the end of the race. And they got good pace right there with their leg stretching, and you can see that one is looking at his watch. I really wish I could see the letters. Oh, that's Guan Youshen from China. I think he's leading the Chinese, the Chinese athlete group, isn't it? So that's Guan Youshen. His bib number is 14, and he was born in 1993, and he turns 21 this year. His personal best is 2:11:58, set in 2023 Fuzhou Marathon. And we can see they're running in a very steady pace. And running alongside him is Di Yun. That's Di Yun, and running alongside Guan Youshen. And also, we still can see we have the police vehicles leading the way. It is beautiful scenery out there, isn't it? You can see this mountain rolling just across that, and with such a view, I can see Lanzhou is most miraculous cities here in the northwest of Gansu province. Now we have seen in the elite pack, we have Jia Renzhia leading the elite pack. His bib number is 15, and he was born in 1993. And he's just right there alongside an Ethiopian runner, and we can see two of them. Okay, yeah, I was right. The people wearing the pink and yellow-ish kind of shirt is the pacers. And for Jia Renzhia, we can see he's very loved from the crowd of the China. So basically, Jia Renzhia's personal best is 2:09:54, setting 2023, which is last year in BMW Berlin Marathon. And he was known, and still known, as the king of the Chinese trail running. So we can see there's a journalist right there introducing the whole point for the marathon. So now we've got status for the first 5 kilometers. So ranking first is Nigat Taman from Ethiopia. And now if he continues to run at the pace of 3:02 minutes per kilometer, he will be finishing around 2:07:52. And ranking second is Chekorum from Uganda, and he's also running at a pace of 3:02 per kilometer, and which is also the pace of Jia Renzhia from China. So now we can see Guan Youshen is still running with Di Yun in very tight groups, and we can see Di Yun right there has been showing now his teeth. Maybe he's feeling a little bit of fatigue right there, climbing up his body, and he's tried really hard to keep up with Guan Yousheng. And here Guan Yousheng instead is running at his own pace, and a very steady pace, and that is a good one for himself. So in the elite pack, we still get Kerwa from Kenya, and if he continues to run at the pace of right now, he will be finishing at 2:08:01. Wow, that is really good. And for Sangji Dongzhi, also from China, he's still sticking very, very tightly to the elite group. And for Sangji Dongzhi, his bib number will be 17, and his personal best is 2:09:29, set in this March in Wuxi Marathon. So, okay, so now we get a glimpse of the course map. So now we're running towards the Yellow River Tower. And right there we have the finishing line for the health run, and we'll go through the Lily Park, and then we can see the yellow one, so the cheerleading team, and reaching for 10 kilometers, and we'll go through the Xiaoxihu Bridge, and then we can see there's a Zhongshan Bridge, and after that 15 kilometers, and we will see the water wheel exhibition. And then we can see that's where the Jingyan Bridge is, and where the split point for the marathon and half marathon. The marathon will continue to run alongside the north bank of the river. For the half marathon, they were finishing just on the south bank of the river. And for the full marathon, we can see they reach the after 25 kilometers to 13 kilometers, and right there they have the wetland park, and also the Shenan Bridge is where they will make a U-turn right there for the 35 kilometers, and then make a U-turn again and cross the Yingtan Bridge, and then also the last U-turn right there, and running also beside the Yellow River Tower, and to the 40 kilometers, and finally back to the Olympic Sports Center at the finishing line. So that is the course map for the 2024 Lanzhou Marathon. So as we can see along the sides, we can see loads of green. The trees are thriving at this season here in Lanzhou, which provides the runners with some shade along the way. So basically we can see the first elite pack of groups of marathon men, and then we have a good group of around 8 people in the first elite pack. And then for the Chinese marathon men, we have 3 of them, Guan Yousheng and Di Yun, and someone from a very brave one, I'd say, for the marathon. And he's very keen to stay tuned to Guan Yousheng. And in the first elite group, the first pack of league, we have 2 Chinese athletes in there, which is Jia Renjia and Sangji Dongzhi. Right now they reaches the point in 10 kilometers. So we've got a little bit change here in the first league of pack. We have Jia Renjia from China still running very steadily at the 3rd place right here, and we also have Gao Peng from China sticking to that group. So 桑吉冬至, there must be something happening to him so that he falls a little bit behind the group, not staying in the group. So for Gao Peng, he was born in 1996 here in Yunnan province. And his personal best, like I said, is 2:09:34, set in 2023 Beijing Marathon. So that is some reruns for the 2024 Lanzhou Marathon. That's the starting moment, the very exciting moment for the Lanzhou Marathon. Wow, I expect today to be a journey with great fun. So what we see right there, a little lion right there as a cultural product of the Gansu Museum, the Lanzhou Museum here in Gansu. It's called Lanzhou. It's the gate lion that is the revered divine beast of Lanzhou Museum, and also serves as our cherished symbol of a good fortune. Its design is based on the green lion adorning the gate of Lanzhou City Museum. So now back on the track, on the course of the Lanzhou Marathon. And it is actually an international fashion today for the marathon to be set alongside the river, so people can enjoy the whole marathon journey a little better than the one set fully in the city, because you can enjoy the beautiful, the usually very beautiful scenery, the breathtaking scenery alongside the river, and you will get a little bit of humidity and moisture out of the river. So we've now had a closer shot at Guan Yousheng here in the pack. And we can see the Di Yun has lost a little bit of distance, just lag a little bit behind Guan Yousheng. And Guan Yousheng is still running at a very composed, very steady pace right there. I think he's very good at that. And we can see this bib number 24845 is running. He's very bold to have running, you know, a little bit further than Guan Yousheng. He was the second in this pack, and now he goes up to the first. I wonder if his pace is gonna influence Guan Yousheng's, you know, that kind of pace that he's used to. So it's very important for a league pack to have a pacer right there. Just like we said, we have recruited 60 pacers for the marathon. And so the pacers are there to ensure that you're running at a very steady and a very good pace for today's marathon. But you won't lag too much behind, and you won't lose that much track of time. And so you can just think, you don't need to, you know, make decisions with pacers around. But after that, when the pacers takes off, you'll have to make your own decision. Do you go a little bit faster, or do you just choose to go at the former rate and pace? So for Guan Yousheng, the first 5 kilometers is 15:35, 36, and the first 10 kilometers is 37, sorry. So basically, we'll see in the right corner right there is the Mother Yellow River sculpture in Xiaoxihu Park. So around the 8.5 kilometers mark, runners will reach the first aid station, and that is a crucial checkpoint where those experiencing physical discomfort or fatigue can opt to board an aid vehicle and return to the main venue. And so just a short distance further, at the 12.5 kilometers mark, there stands the iconic Mother Yellow River sculpture, and that is a masterpiece created by renowned sculptor Mr. He E. The sculpture depicts a mother tenderly embracing a child, symbolizing the Yellow River, nurturing embrace of countless generations of Chinese people. Nestled within the mother's protective arms, the child represents the thriving future of the nation. And now we can see is the first bridge ever to be on the Yellow River here in Lanzhou. It's the Zhongshan Bridge. We're coming to that later. So that's around 12.5 to 15 kilometers. The Zhongshan Bridge, and the Yellow River cable car. So now we get a glimpse of the finishing line for the Health and Family Run and North Martin Road. Well done, runners. You have completed your health or family run right there. Good for you. Congratulations. Now you can see the people, they're checking their watches, and then they were still running after they finish their run. Yeah, do catch a breath, folks. So now we can see there are a group of people performing the Kung Fu Fan of China. That is a very traditional sports dating back for a long time. And their fan, they're very interesting to see that because it looks like the cabbages. And that is the kind of, aesthetics right there. And we also have the beautiful ladies in red. They were also waving their fans, and with a very modern combination of the music. The rhythm just stirs up the energy in people. Yeah, they look very happy to do that. So basically, the Lanzhou city has provided a lot of performances along the way to cheer up the runners. Oh, and there is one gentleman right there. Okay, there are people talking to the camera. It's kind of hard to get what they're saying, but as they go, and we can see that they're very enthusiastic and they're happy to do that. And he's saying that, my parents, I'm on TV. So now we've come to the 13 kilometers right there. So as the runners progress through this section of the course, they will embark on a journey along one of the Lanzhou's most celebrated and well-known tourist routes. So this scenic stretch features iconic landmarks such as Zhongshan Bridge, and offering breathtaking views of legendary White Tower Mountain and Jinchengguan on the opposite bank. So what we have right here is Sangji Dongzhi. His bib number 17, and he's still okay. He's back here in the very first 5 athletes here, right here, and his personal best 2:09.29 at the age of 27. So that record is set in this year, like I said, in March in Wuxi, and his breakthrough came in 2024 Yunnan Qujing Luoping Marathon, where he secured a remarkable gold medal with a time of 2:12.03. And last year, he was also here in Lanzhou Marathon with the result of 2:20.42, and he ended up the 9th place. And right there, we have an African athlete trying to run alongside him and then go right ahead of him. So that's we're trying to get a glimpse of that athlete's bib number. So basically, every year for Lanzhou Marathon, they will invite a bunch of African runners to spur up the marathon race. And for Sangji Dongzhi, we can see the first 5 kilometers, he uses 15:10. And for the 10 kilometers, he finishes at 30:30. That is according to the timing point. So just alongside him is the bib number 5, Ashnafi Wujoji. His average pace is 3:03. And if he continues in that pace, he will finish at 2:10.24. So basically, they're running side to side, and we can see Ashnafi has run a little bit ahead of Sangji Dongzhi, and Sangji Dongzhi is trying a little bit harder to keep up and not let him get ahead of him. So as we can see, that leg stretching and the muscles right there is very beautiful. A very beautiful scene to see. And just down here, we have in the little image down here on the right, we can see the Zhongshan Bridge. This majestic structure that is gracefully spanning on the Yellow River is often referred to as the first bridge over the Yellow River in the world. So originally, it was named as Zhenyuan Bridge, and it was renamed as Zhongshan Bridge in 1928 in honor of Sun Yat-sen. Having witnessed the city's transformation over time, Zhongshan Bridge still stands as a testament to Lanzhou's resilience and enduring spirit. So now we get a glimpse of the first League of Pack, right there, still very tightly, they're staying very close together. And so for the Lanzhou Marathon, it is not merely a physical challenge, it is also an immense cultural experience, weaving together the city's rich heritage, breathtaking scenery, and unwavering spirit of its people, with its unique course layout, captivating landmarks, and passionate local support. The Lanzhou Marathon promises an unforgettable running adventure, and one that celebrates history, beauty, and indomitable human spirit. So basically right there you can see the red lanterns hung up on the Zhongshan Bridge. And the first leg of pack is reaching 15 kilometers right there. Oh, you can see the beautiful overview of the course right there. Where do you want to go? So, we still get the first man from Ethiopia. The first place, Taman. Inu Taman from Ethiopia with the average pace of 3:04. A little bit slower than the 3:02. And second place, Chekarum from Uganda. Very steady over there. And the third place, Jia Renjia. Very well done right there for transcended the other, Ethiopian and Kenyan runners there in the first leg of pack. And we'll also have Tadese from Ethiopia, Tagaya Tadese from Ethiopia in the fourth place. The fifth place is Jo Kamboy Kimura from Kenya and Inu Meka'alim from Ethiopia. And now we can see, that's the cheerleading team right there, singing 最炫民族风 from a famous Chinese group that combines the Chinese traditional kind of music and to add a little bit of modern element to it. And now we can see this 甲鹅人家 bib number 15. So basically, 甲鹅人家 is a very versatile athlete who has excelled in both road and trail running competitions. I remember on the August 31st of 2018 at the Ultra Trail du Mont Blanc, UTMB, the pinnacle of trail running, 甲鹅人家 has shattered glass ceiling. That is a very miracle moment, claiming victory in the OCC category. For the first time in UTMB history, Chinese athletes stands atop the podium. And I was very proud of that. And the image of this Tibetan trailblazer soaring towards the finish line, the national flag held high and etching a new chapter in the annals of Chinese outdoor sports. That is a very exciting moment right there to see. And so in road running, 甲鹅人家 has also demonstrated his powers, securing a notable victory in the 2020 Shanghai Marathon with a time of 2:12:14.4. And in the 2022 Shanghai Marathon, he received third place with a result of 2:16:05. And we got in the elite packs, mostly Ethiopians, and one from Uganda, one from Kenya, and two for the Chinese athletes, which are 甲鹅人家 and Gao Peng. Let's share them up. Hopefully they will stay very tightly still in the elite pack till the end. So back on 甲鹅人家, in recent interviews, I think that was 2 days ago, is it? In recent interviews, he said that it's his first time here in Lanzhou. And to confronting the African runners, he said, they aim at breaking the meeting record. So that pace of the former half of the race will be around 3 minutes per kilometer. And that is a little bit fast for him. So he'll adjust this strategy accordingly. So similarly today, we have him stay very close to those African runners. So let's wish him good luck. And in the latter half of the marathon race, we'll be able to see whether this decision is wise or not. And regarding the trainings, he said that he didn't quite have a very systematic winter training period. Therefore, after the Wuxi Marathon this year, he trained for about a month and then returned to track of half marathon. That is 3 weeks of training approximately, and Lanzhou will be his last race this year. He will be going for the summer training after that, and which is from June to August in Kenya. So regarding this year's results, he's not yet satisfied, and so he'll be focusing on breaking personal best during the training, entering into 2090 or 2080. So we can see there's the elite pack of women marathon runners. So for the women's elite group, they were running towards the 15 kilometers right there, and we've got 6 Ethiopians in that pack, clinging to the first six, and the 7th is Masai from Kenya. So let's go for the women's marathon. The first is now from Ethiopia. Admasu, and the second place is Chako, and the third place is Shuko Walsh. So now still is the close-up for the elite pack of marathon men. So we can see Jia Renjia has a leg a little bit behind the African runners, but he looked very composed right there, and very calm. Hope he'll stay that way. And we can see right behind that is Gao Peng. He's a little bit behind the elite pack, and it will be very hard for him to get, to chase that group and to finally be back. So we can see the crowd cheering for the runners, and that is the close-up for Zhangji Dongzhi. And I think he's shaking his hand to, maybe to shake out the sweat on his hand or something. I think he's adjusting his clothes. Maybe it's a little bit too cleaning to his skin. That makes him feel a little bit uncomfortable right there. And we have crowd cheering for him right there. So they were just passing the 10 kilometers towards the 15 kilometers, and with the lowest, and actually at 11 kilometers, there will be the lowest point of the whole marathon course. And after that, the terrain is about to take a significant turn upward. And now we get a close look for the Chinese female runner, Deng Shujia, right there, bib number 39. So this part of the course is where the strategic pacing becomes paramount, because in the first hour of the race, it's crucial for runners to conserve their energy, conserve their strength, carefully navigating the initial stages without overexerting themselves. So remember, the true test for their resilience lies ahead, and they must have the fuel to conquer the uphill battles that await. So imagine the strain on their muscle as they tackle these inclines. The burn in their lungs with each labored breath. It will be a battle of wills, a test of their mental fortitude as much as their physical powers. But let us not underestimate the determination of these athletes. They're trained for this moment, and they push their bodies to the limits, and they have been ready to face whatever challenges that the course throws their way. So, as we witness the runners embark on this uphill struggle, let us cheer them on with unwavering support. Their grit, their perseverance, and their unwavering spirit are an inspiration to me, and hopefully to us all. I don't normally think that people run in marathon. They're running just a race. They're also conquering themselves and providing the human spirit that can overcome even the most daunting obstacles. So we still have the overview of the Yellow River, which is, wow, it's really beautiful, you have to see. And right there, the zooming in on the massive crowd running or walking or sprinting or strolling right there on the course. It's really lovely to see people that love sports so much. They gather together and they are doing their best in this prestigious event. So, for the marathon and half marathon, when it reaches 15 to 16 4 kilometers, they will be having a glimpse into the Lanzhou's water wheel heritage museum and the parting of ways. So right there, we can see a Chinese athlete right there with some glues to his legs. To ease the sore muscles. And back on the course, around the 15 kilometers mark, runners will encounter the captivating Water Wheel Expo Park, a testament to Lanzhou's enduring water wheel heritage. These ingenious contraptions with their unique and intricate designs, they trace their origins back to the Ming Dynasty. Once the city's lifeline for irrigation, Lanzhou's water wheel stood as a symbol of human ingenuity and perseverance. At this peak, the city boasted an impressive 252 water wheels, earning it the moniker Water Wheel City, a title that surpassed even the renowned water wheel city of Hama in Syria. After passing the awe-inspiring Pingsha Luoyang San Bank G's landing sculpture, the marathon and half marathon runners will bid farewell to each other. There's a splitting point, embarking on their respective paths towards the finish line. So that's Wu Mingyao from China. He's on his own in this course. So as I said, they're not just competing to win the race. He's taking a look at his watches to check the time, but also to compete with yourself. So marathon runners will veer left after that water wheel park and continue their journey along the Nanbinghe Road, crossing the magnificent Jingyan Yellow River Bridge before entering Beibinghe, It's a Binghe North Road. And the half marathon runners, on the other hand, will continue along the 读者大道, the reader avenue, turning back to follow South Binghe 东路 East Road towards the finish line. That is the reruns of today's exciting moments and the beautiful scenic attractions of Lanzhou, what Lanzhou has to offer. And that's the cable car across the Yellow Bridge, the Yellow River, and the water wheel park right there, and the Zhongshan Bridge with red lanterns on it, and also with police vehicles leading the way, the pack of leagues. And the whole city's overview and the crowd running towards the finish line. And we're sponsored by Lanzhou Bank. That is the building of that. So that is just a short video clip of the preparations of the Lanzhou Marathon. Let's look at the weather. Right now it's still 17 degrees centigrade, and there will be some wind right there. And for humidity, it's right up a little bit to 57. So the humidity is a crucial factor in marathon. In the realm of marathon running, humidity levels plays a significant role in the athlete's comfort and performance. When humidity falls below 30%, the air becomes drier, leading to the increasing fluid loss through sweating and respiration. This can quickly lead to dehydration, causing discomfort, muscle cramps, and even serious health risks. And now let's also take a look at the close-up for the men's lead pack. Jia He Renjia still staying very closely right there. They're running towards the 20 kilometers, and for the first 15 kilometers, he's running into 45:53. Very well done, Jia He Renjia. And the first one, we have a little bit twist and turn. Here in the first league pack, you can see people, they're not clustering so tightly in like they were in the first 15 kilometers. They will actually have a little bit of space and distance between each other. They were running rather as a line right there, but you can't see at this angle of the shot. The first place now, it's Ezekiel Chekorum from Uganda, the first one, and with bib number 11. And for the second is Enyo Niga Taman from Ethiopia, and third place is Enyo Makonnen Allen, also from Ethiopia. So you can see the lead group here very clearly that they are running rather as a line, not as a pack before, a square pack before. So back on the humidity, Lanzhou, with its relatively low humidity levels, presents a unique challenge for marathon runners. And the dry air can accelerate dehydration, making it essential for athletes to stay vigilant about their fluid intake. So as we witness the runners embark on their journey, it's crucial to remember that hydration is not just about quenching thirst. It's about maintaining a delicate balance of fluids and electrolytes, ensuring that the body has the resources it needs to function optimally. Along the course, runners will enter numerous water stations, providing them with opportunity to replenish the fluids. But it's not just about gulping down water. The smart hydration strategies involve consuming fluids regularly throughout the race, even when not feeling thirsty. Electrolyte replacement drinks can also be a valuable tool in combating dehydration. These beverages contain essential minerals like sodium and potassium, which are lost through sweat and plays a vital role in muscle function and nerve transmission. And as the race progresses, runners may experience signs of dehydration, such as dry mouth, dizziness, or muscle cramps. And if these symptoms appear, it is crucial to seek immediate medical attention. And we have aid buses along the way, and we also have medical stations right there for you to seek help. And with careful planning and strategic fluid intake, they can overcome, hopefully, the dry conditions and push their bodies to their limits. So we can see that is for half marathon the finishing line. It's the 21st kilometers, and we can see right there ahead of all of the half marathon runners is Wu Mingyao from China. And his pace is about 3:14, and he has raised his hand to say and to bump his chest that he is the first place today. He's the champion today of the Lanzhou Marathon. And right there, we can see his arms held high. Yeah, that is the first place of half marathon here. Wu Mingyao, 1:7:52. Wu Mingyao with an average pace of 3:13, and there are people cheering him up, and that is the the card for the first place right there for the finish line of the half marathon. Wow. And you can see the national cheerleading team right here with our beautiful young ladies right there waving the, the little bit balls of straps. They were very happy to be here because I encountered one of the cheerleaders on the plane from Beijing to here, Lanzhou, and the girl, she's very determined in going to the Lanzhou Marathon, and he said that it's an honor right there. And here for the half marathon also, we can see there were 3 or 4 people running towards the finish line right here. Let's see if they can do how good they could do. Okay, I think the second place is also belong to China. Yeah. We have the second place right there kissing the ground. And congratulations, dear runners. And the third place is checking his watch. And right there, you can see the medal. Okay, we've got the results. The second place for half marathon men goes to Liu Yingcai from China, 1:09:25. And the third place, Zhang Guofu, also from China, 1:09:41. You can see the crowd cheering right there. And Lanzhou Marathon for the half in the Lanzhou Marathon, the half marathon runners, they're good. It's good experience for them and good practicing in the latter competitions that comes ahead. So basically, to ensure the well-being of the runners throughout this marathon, a network of support station has been meticulously positioned along the course. And we can see right there is 假俄人家. 假俄人家 has lagged a little bit behind the first leg of pack. As you said earlier, the African athletes will be running very quickly to break the meeting record, and he wasn't sure whether he'll be able to keep up with that or not, but he's not very far behind the first league pack of group. And we got here in the first league pack, we've got 5 Ethiopians, 1 from Uganda, 1 from Kenya. And the first one still goes very steady to Chakorum from Uganda. His pace is 3:05. And for 假俄人家, and he's looking behind his shoulders to see whether people are catching up to him. And as the fastest Chinese athlete here in the marathon, people were cheering for him. Now reaching the 24 kilometers of the men's marathon race. Yep. So right there we can see there are 2 African runners running tightly head-to-head to each other. Right there we can see they're watering the plants on the mountain, the Baita mountain. And also 假俄人家, first 20 kilometers, he runs into 1:1:26. And I think he's still in a very good status right there, having his own speed, but checking his watch, because as he said, he would just be competing against himself here in this race, mainly. I really love the way he, puts together his whole outfit. And then we can see the other athletes, the marathon runners. They were just across the Jingyan Bridge. And they were about to reach reach the Baita Mountain Park and Jingchengguan. This section of the marathon course takes runners through renowned scenic spots such as Baita Mountain Park and Jingchengguan. As the saying goes, the Golden Temple atop Jingchengguan and the White Horse waves before Baita Mountain. This past the 20 kilometers mark, and runners will encounter Jinchengguan, a large-scale replica of an ancient fortress. Standing proudly on the right-hand side of the course, Jinchengguan's origins trace back to the Qing dynasty, with its fortifications strengthened during the Western Han Dynasty. In ancient times, Jinchengguan held a strategic position, guarding the western end of the Great Wall, connecting with Tibet to the south and neighboring Chang'an to the east. With the Qing dynasty's vast defensive network, Jinchengguan served as an impenetrable defense line. We can see the League of Pack. They were reaching for their own drinks. It is very important for the runners to take little sips of water right there, and hopefully it won't influence the rate in going through the races. Yeah, they discarded the bottles along the way. But don't worry, we'll have the volunteers for that. So now we have passed the timing point of 20 kilometers, and then we can see in the first League of Pack the athletes taking small sips of water and discarding the bottles right there. So, there we have the marathon runners smiling and chatting to each other. They're very, calm and very happy that they can do that. And the runners are cheering and say that I love Lanma. So, despite today's cloudy weather, which embodies a very good temperature and very good humidity for today's race, and we still have some precautions for the race. So, at the finishing line area, the organizing committee will have cooling mats available for runners to grab if needed, and the organizing committee will adjust the position and numbers of spraying points along the course based on how hot it gets. There will be 7 sprays points, and at different spots starting from 26 kilometers till 41 kilometers, and also 18 misting trucks set up every couple of kilometers from 14 kilometers onward to the finishing areas, as well as certain points for half marathoners. And we see the League of Pack is running towards the 25 kilometers, and ranking number 1 is from Ethiopia. Well, there's a change a little bit. Taman from Ethiopia. And the second from Uganda, which lags a little bit of distance behind, Chekorum. And the third is bib number 2, Tadesse from Ethiopia also. So also back to the organizing committee, they've added 4 ice water stations along the route at 22.5 kilometers where they just passed, and and at 27.5 kilometers and 32.5 kilometers and 37.5 kilometers, where you can grab a nice cold sponge to cool down. And after 17.5 kilometers to the full marathon, there will be a medical station with a cooling ice pool to prevent athletes from heat strokes and overheating. And they're also increasing the supplies of salt tablets and water at various aid stations. Salt tablets will be provided to runners at from 12.5 kilometers, and all water stations of 17 kilometers along the course will provide at least 500 milliliters of water for each runner. And the organizing committee has also provided chemical ice packs at 32.5 kilometers and the 37.5 kilometers along the course starting from 11 a.m. Water and anti-heat stroke medicines were also provided on the bus for runners to use. And they've reached the 10th timing point, and we can see the first place right now, Temen from Ethiopia, looking behind his shoulders to check if people are following. And the other image we can see is from Jia Renjia. Jia Renjia has lagged a little bit behind the group so that he check his watches right there. Right now he's on the 9th place. So as we said, the meeting record is set by Abayane Ayo Wujojis from Ethiopia, 2:10:10. Before last year in the 2022, but last year we have the breaking of the meeting record, and right now we have female runners across the finishing line of the half marathon. Now we have the first place Lu Yingxiu from China, finishing at 1:21:12, and the second place Guan Yingyu, finishing at 1:21:51, and the third place Pan Yuanchen, also from China, 1:21:40. Well done, girls. Well done. So it is very important for the common marathon runners to grab their supply of water, supply of salt tablets, and so on. But for the professional runners, they will sometimes have the very precise measurement of the kind of nutrition and the electrolyte they're gonna take. So basically they would just reach for their very own bottles along the way and to take sips of supplies of the supplements. So from starting from the 5 kilometers mark, you will find water stations and medical stations every 2.5 kilometers. And these facilities are designed to provide you with the essential hydration, relief, and medical attention you may need to maintain your pace and complete the race safely. Safety. We're all about safety. And at every 5 kilometers interval, you'll also encounter beverage station and timing points. These stations will provide you with additional refreshment and allow you to track your progress, ensuring you stay on track to achieve the race goals. And from the 7.5 kilometers mark onward, sponge stations will be conveniently located every 2.5 kilometers. These stations offer refreshing sponges to help you cool down and maintain your comfort level, especially during the warmer section of the course. And now we have Jia Renjia, and coming up to him, just ahead of him, is Lemmy. He used to be behind Jia Renjia, but now he's coming up to the front from Ethiopia. Lemmy at the pace of 3:06. Come on, Jia Renjia, keep up. You are doing great. I'm just kidding. Just keep your pace, and it's all about the minimum energy expenditure. You will have to conserve your energy for the period where you feel really bad, which is what we call hit the wall. And that is where you need your resilience and perseverance on the race. So in the final stretch of the race, from 27.5 kilometers onward, food stations will be positioned every 2.5 kilometers. And this increased frequency ensures that the runners have access to the necessary subsistence to power through the final stages and reaches the finishing line with renewed vigor. With this comprehensive network of supporting stations in place, the runners can rest assured that the well-being of them is a top priority to the Lanzhou Marathon. And we encourage you to utilize these facilities wisely and stay hydrated, filled, and informed throughout the race journey. And there's a female runner right there shouting, "Come on, Chongqing!" And I think she's the whole pack maybe is from Chongqing. Let's come on, Lanzhou, waving and have a national flag tag on his ears. And also back to the dehydration situation right there. To dealing with that, it's crucial to understand that the hydration is not just about gulping down water at every opportunity. Instead, it's about adopting a strategic approach that ensures optimal fluid intake while minimizing digestive discomfort. For the average runners, experts recommend starting hydration from the very first water station. Small, frequent sips of 120 to 150 milliliters are considered the most effective approach. Consuming excessive amounts at once can not only lead to inefficient dehydration, but also place unnecessary strain on your stomach. So observing the hydration patterns of elite runners can provide valuable insights into their race strategy and overall condition. So for the experienced athletes, what we see just now for the first leg of pack often follows a meticulous hydration plan, carefully timing their fluid intake and choosing specific water stations based on their individual needs and the demands of the course. And then we can see that people are live streaming right there on the right of the screen with a little bit of image right there, a female runner. She said that she's most impressed with Lanzhou's enthusiasm towards the whole marathon and the crowd cheering alongside the road, and she can see that they're waving to her and cheering her up, which is really exciting for her. So the wind speed is also an important element of the marathon. So as we witness these athletes navigate the course along the banks of the Yellow River, it is crucial to understand how wind can affect their speed, comfort, and overall performance. So facing headwinds, sometimes a wind blowing directly against their direction of travel, runners will undoubtedly experience a decrease in the forward momentum. And the force of the wind acts as an opposing force, demanding extra effort for runners' muscle to maintain their pace. However, today's race presents a unique challenge. So the potential for the crosswinds. As the day progresses and the sun climbs higher, today, the temperature differential between the water surface and the Yellow River and the surrounding landmass will create a pressure gradient, and this phenomenon, known as the land sea breeze, will cause the wind to blow from the cooler water towards the warmer land directly across the runner's path. But here today, we can see the Lanzhou Marathon. The weather is very kind to the marathon runners today. It stays cloudy till now. So nevertheless, these crosswinds can introduce an element of unpredictability into the race. When you are running alongside the Yellow River, you will need to adjust your stride and posture to compensate for the sudden gusts, expending additional energy and potentially disrupting the rhythm. Moreover, the crosswinds can sometimes accelerate the evaporation of sweat from the runners' bodies and increase cooling effect, while initially refreshing, can lead to dehydration and discomfort, countered by adequate fluid intake. So right now we can see on the screen there were people running with red balloons, the square balloons, which is very nice to see. And we can see the marathon runners are starting to it becomes a little bit harder for them to catch their breath, and then they remained very calm through the first half of the race. And now coming towards the 30 kilometers are the elite pack of African runners. And we still have Teman from Ethiopia, bib number 10 at the front, and the second is Kimura from Kenya, bib number 03. And catching up is Wood Tense from Ethiopia, bib number 8. Now we can see the traditional drums right there alongside the road, and that's a very typical Chinese way of, cheering them up. Yeah, now we can see the elite group of 3 people right there. Afterwork, Anyu and Zhou. And they're forming into a smaller group without the pacers, and this is where they will make their own decisions of whether they need to speed up or they need to stay inside this very small legal pack. And we can see a little bit further right there is Anjulam Shifra from Ethiopia. As they're running towards the 30 kilometers, it is the scenic spot of honoring the source of life and celebrating integrity. This section of the course takes runners past a series of landmarks that pay homage to the life-giving power of the Yellow River and uphold the values of integrity and cultural heritage. So we can see right there, it's the Life's Source colorful poetry sculpture. Stands as a mesmerizing tribute to the Yellow River and the mighty waterway that has shaped the lives and cultures of countless generations. For the first league of groups, we have a little bit of information for Kimura from Kenya. He was born in 1982 in Kenya, and his personal best is 2:05:19, set in 2021 Generali Milano Marathon, where he took the 7th place. And last year, March in Barcelona, he runs into 2:06:25, ending up as the 7th place. So we can see the gap between them is 2 seconds in the first league of pack, the ones between the first place and second place and the 3rd place. And also, he runs last year in Beijing Marathon in October at 2:07:54, where he took the 5th place. So, for the first place, which is from Ethiopia, Taman Inu Taman. He was born in 2001, and he's supposed to be the pacerman. And he also has the elite label right there. And we have come across here on the screen that people just crossing the water cannon part of the route to cool them down a bit and to give them hydration from outside their bodies. And for the third place, bib number 8, Afok Wutesa. He was born in 1992, and his personal best is 2:09:27, set in 2019 Xiamen Marathon, and he's also an elite label. Right, we can see right there the people are crossing the Jingyan Bridge for the 4 marathon runners. And on the right side of the screen, you can get a bird view of the whole marathon along the Yellow River and just beside the Baitan Mountain. And then we can see there's a stage. There's a leader right there holding a microphone and shouting, "Come on, come on, do your best." Wow, they're very exciting. I hope the runners are not very surprised by their enthusiasm. And now we can get a close-up glimpse for the 甲鹅人家. Now, running into the 30 kilometers, and he's running at 1:33:29. So for the marathon course at 30 to 32.5 kilometers, there is an immerse in the tranquility of Yingtan Wetland Park. So at the 30 kilometers mark, runners will find themselves amidst a serene oasis, Yingtan Wetland Park, nestled within the Yellow River wetlands on both sides of the Yingtan Bridge in Anning district. This park comprises 4 lakes, a 3,000-meter water system, and a 2,000-meter wooden plank road. As the only Yellow River wetland park in Gansu province, Yingtan Wetland Park offers a tranquil escape from the bustling marathon atmosphere, and it is also a great place for the runners to take in a lot of oxygen and a lot of hydration around the area. So let's also take a look at the first 10 of the men's full marathon. The first place, still Inu Taman from Ethiopia, and then followed by Joe Kimura from Kenya, and number 3 from Ethiopia, Afok Wutesa. And 4th place, right now also from Ethiopia, Angelam Shifora. And after that, from Ethiopia, Tegaye Tedese. And after that, from Uganda, Chepkoron. In the 7th place, right now, from Ethiopia, Bixen Demik. And also Inu Alam from Ethiopia takes the 8th place, still at the stage of the race, and then goes on to Lemi Bay from Ethiopia, and finally 甲鹅人家, the only Chinese athlete that still stays in the first 10. of the marathon race from China. We can see that the pace has dropped a little bit for the first leg of pack, right here from 3:02 to 3:05 and 3:06 and 3:07. And I think maybe it is the hardest part of this race. So, let's pay special attention to the pace right now. As we have witnessed the unfolding spectacles of the Lanzhou Marathon, it is important to understand that the unique conditions of the race will undoubtedly influence the runners' pacing strategies. So, due to the factors we've discussed, including the high altitude, the low humidity, but not today, not so low today, and potential for strong winds, the overall pace of the Lanzhou Marathon is expected to be lower, and Jiae just passed a station of water and salt tablets right there, and he's decided not to take them at this stage of the race. And he's looking aside when he's running, and he's got no company right there, and it requires him, yes, that's why he's checking his watch, it requires him to keep on track his time and pace right there. So Lanzhou, so because of the factors we talked about earlier, the overall pace of the Lanzhou Marathon is always expected to be slower than the typical marathons held at lower elevations and in more, temperate climates. So for reference, the average international pace for marathon runners at this altitude is around 3 minutes and 10 seconds per kilometer. And obviously, in the first leg of pack of men's marathon, including Jiae has running within this kind of international pace, within the 3 minutes and 10 seconds. Jiae is running at a pace of 3:07 right there per kilometer. And this results in a total race time of, approximately 2 hours, 13 minutes and 30 seconds right there, if they don't speed up at the latter stages of the race. And to break it down further, a pace of 3 minutes per kilometer would translate to a total race time of 2 hours and 7 minutes, which is very hard for today's runners to achieve. And now let's delve into the strategies employed by elite foreign athletes, particularly those from Africa, who often dominate the Lanzhou Marathon. So these experienced runners are known for their tactical acceleration bursts, typically occurring around 20th, 25th, 28th, 27th, and 23rd and 25th kilometers of the race, which is why you can see right now Jiae lags a little bit behind, because the approaches of the African runners involves, pushing the pace for 1 to 2 kilometers at first, and then they're followed by a period of recovery before another acceleration burst. So this strategy can quickly deplete the energy of their competitors. So to illustrate this concept even further, I think what you can do is that you can imagine to drive a car. Constantly accelerating and hitting the brakes is far less fuel efficient than maintaining a steady speed, to put it at that. And then you can see why, followed by this accelerating and then recovering and then accelerating burst of the African, runners, why they can achieve their goals of breaking the meeting record by surpassing loads and loads of Chinese runners right there. And now we can see the local band playing a song that is themed with the Lanzhou, and I think maybe especially for this Lanzhou Marathon. It is very good. Has a typical way of Chinese, pop singing, the band singing style, and embodying a little bit of the north element of the Lanzhou and the north part of China. And back to the strategies. So similarly, the runners would fall prey to this acceleration burst because they at first they may think that they can keep up, but then they actually lag behind because they find themselves burning out prematurely, and while those who remain maintain a more consistent pace are more likely to conserve their energy and finish very strong. So for now, let's enjoy the music. And that's the rerun of the first place of men's half marathon.
马拉松赛事是近2年中国最火爆的赛事。我们冠名或者赞助这种活动，有利于品牌传播和产品的传播，会有一定的促进作用。
And that is the interview of the sponsor
跟我们
right
比亚
there.
迪企业的精神高度的融合，所以我们赞助了兰州马拉松活动。比亚迪海洋网是比亚迪的另一个中坚的力量。 它代表了比亚迪新的年轻化的产品序列。我们代表的产品海豚、海豹、海狮，是目前中国最时尚、最运动、最代表年轻化的产品序列之一。
国，成绩为1小时07分52秒。下面有请兰州市政府
这边没有人搬台的，我就把架子升到最高的，2圈全升完了。
好的，请回位。下面有请兰州市体育局副局长盛玉平为获奖运动员颁发奖牌。感谢，请回位。下面有请华润怡宝饮料中国有限公司兰州销售经理郭斌为获奖运动员贺送奖票。好的，接下来有请各位颁奖嘉宾共同移步至舞台上合影留念。来吧，我们各位颁奖嘉宾站在我们的颁奖台前，请各位颁奖嘉宾站在颁奖台前。3、2、1之后，现场所有的朋友们，掌声祝贺好吗？3、2、1，恭喜他们！好的，感谢颁奖嘉宾，恭喜获奖运动员，请退场。成绩为1小时21分40秒，获得第2名的运动员是肖军，来自中国，成绩为1小时21分39秒。获得第1名的运动员是陆颖秀，来自中国，成绩为1小时21分12秒。下面有请兰州市政府副市长许永铁为获奖运动员颁发奖杯。
收到，魔山收到，魔山收到。
下面有请兰州市政府办公室副主任薛昭军为获奖运动员颁发奖牌。
哎，让一下，让一下。
接下来有请华润怡宝饮料中国有限公司兰州销售经理郭斌为获奖运动员贺送奖票。好的，有请各位颁奖嘉宾共同移步至台前合影留念。来吧，运动员，让我们左手高举奖杯，现场所有的观众朋友们举起手机、相机，一起记录下荣耀时刻，好吗？3、2、1，掌声恭喜他们！再次感谢颁奖嘉宾，祝贺获奖运动员，请退场。
So right there we can see right now the medals we were just seeing on the screen. We can see the medals have caught the attention of the public. These medals are not only a symbol of the athletes' persistent sportsmanship, but also play a crucial role in promoting the city's image. Being a key city on the ancient Silk Road, Lanzhou has historically guarded the entrance to the Hexi corridor. Over time, it has been the meeting point for various civilizations, resulting in the development of a vibrant Silk Road culture. The design of this year's Lanzhou Marathon medals draws inspiration from Fei Tian, which means flying in the sky. The cultural element found in Dunhuang murals, as well as the water wheel, an ancient irrigation tool alongside the vibrant Silk Road and alongside the Yellow River as its main motive, and the overall color is also reminiscent of those seen in Dunhuang murals. When the medals rotates, it creates the image of flying in the sky, much like those depicted in Dunhuang murals, vivid and lifelike. Additionally, painted pottery patterns of Ma Jiayao are incorporated into the medals to unite this splendid Asian culture with the timeless sport of marathon. And let's take a little bit of insight into the Fei Tian, which literally translates to flying in the sky. It is a recurring motif in Chinese art, literature, and mythology, and it depicts the celestial being, often deities, Apsaras, the heavenly maidens, and enlightened beings soaring through the heavens, often accompanied by clouds, cranes, or other fantastical creatures. So let's take a look at the men's marathon. And we have in the first packer group more Chinese athletes entering the latter half of the first 10 here in the League of Pack. We have Jia Renjia, Guan Yousheng, Yin Shunjing, Wang Tao, and Gao Chengliang, all from China, with the pace from 3:09 per kilometers to 3:20 per kilometers. And the first 5 is still very tightly within the grasp of our African athletes. We have still Afwerk, Wu Tensei from Ethiopia, and the second is Kimura from Kenya, Joe Kimura, with a pace of 3:05. And we also have bib number 1, Angelim Belay Shifro from Ethiopia. And now we can see a close-up of Jia Renjia. He was running really, really hard right there on his own, but I think he's got a very composed pace right there, and he's very calm within his grasp. I think with the paces gone, he's a little bit further there in the track, where he stays in the first place of China, of the Chinese athlete groups. Right there, he stretches his legs really and checking his watch to see if he's still maintaining in his pace. So, as we witness the unfolding spectacle of Lanzhou Marathon, it is important to understand the unique conditions that the race will influence the runners' pacing strategies. So, as we can see, there's a water cannon right there, and there are, supplement points right there. Here is the first of the men's elite group, and Afwerk Witense from Ethiopia, ranking first. Just past the Yellow River again, he made his U-turns, and now he's running very strongly towards the end. And we can see that from the place where I can see it, the people are gathering alongside the end of this, the point, the finishing line, and he's running very composed right there, with motors guiding him towards the last 6 to 7 kilometers of the race. And now we get an overview of the track, of the beautiful scenic spots alongside the Yellow River. Now into the men's marathon, 40 kilometers, and where there's only 2 kilometers to go, almost 2 kilometers to go, we have Afok Witense with the average pace of 3:06 right there. With this rate, he'll be finishing at 2:10:09. And then we have Joe Kimura from Kenya at the pace of 3:06 when he passed the 40 kilometers, and he will be expected to finish the race at 2:10:26. And the third place, right now we can see the Angela Shifra from Ethiopia with a pace of 3:06 per kilometers. So right there, we can see Jia Renjia is making his way towards the 40 kilometers right there. The last 2 kilometers to go, and his estimated finishing results is 2:11:18. So basically for Jia Renjia, he's not likely to refresh his personal best at 2:09:54 at this year's Lanzhou Marathon, but he's finishing at a very, very good pace right there. And now we get a close-up of the first one that might be entering hit the finishing line for the men's marathon here in Lanzhou. Afok Witense from Ethiopia, and he's showing us his teeth, and I think he's very happy about that, about the fact that he's running very strongly towards the end, with the second place lagging so much behind him. His pace is 3:05, and if he doesn't, speed up a little bit, he will not be able to break the meeting record. Bib number 8, Afok Witense. He's still strolling out, and I think there's a little bit fatigue right there on his face that he's running really, really hard towards the end. And people are putting up their phones to record this moment. Come on, Afok. We can see he's running really, really tightly alongside the motors that are guiding him. The last stages of the race is very hard. You will have to remain calm, and then you'll have to choose which way to go within the last 1 kilometers. Whether you run a little bit faster or you just stay in that pace. So basically, we have Lanzhou from Ethiopia running right there at the third. He's also running towards the last 1 kilometers. Let's cheer them up a bit. And you can see people gathering towards the finishing line right there. He's checking his watch. Off work. If he can run towards and into, yeah, he's almost there. Almost there. We can see right there, it's the Olympic Sports Center. Let's see. Afuk Wutese. And that's his journey towards the finish line. And he's pumping his chest, and he said that, yeah, I'm the first to finish, and he's very happy about it. You can see he put up a very big smile on his face as he running towards the finishing line. The last stages, come on, speed up a little bit, and then you'll maybe hit the record. Okay, the last curve right there. The last little curve, and then he's running towards the finishing line. Afuk Mesfin Wutesa from Ethiopia with the average pace of 3:06. That's the 42 kilometers. Only in the last stages to go. Come on, come on. He's running very happily, and he's even speeding up a little bit towards the end. And let's see. There's a line over there. And the second place cleaning very close to him with a gap of 50 meters, perhaps. And he's waving to the crowd. He's enjoying this moment. And that's... He raises arms. That's the first place. Afuk Wutesa for 2024 Lanzhou Marathon. And he's checking his watch. Bib number 8, Afuk Mesfin Wutesa. And the second place, Kimura from Kenya. Now we have the results for Afuk Mesfin Wutesa from Ethiopia, finishing at 2:10:23. Not nearly to break the record, but a very, very good result for that. And the second place goes to Joe Kamboy Kimura from Kenya at 2:10:38. And we have the third place right there along the way. Let's wait for his results. Angelam Bilay Shefro from Ethiopia, finishing at 2:11:06. Congratulations, the winners. Well done. That's the overview of the Olympic Sports Center. We right now have the first three of the athletes in men's marathon runners. And then people were still waiting right there to film for the 4th and 5th place of men's marathon right here. We have Lemi Bey from Ethiopia right there, and Demiki Castle Bikseng, also from Ethiopia, running alongside each other. And they're running towards the last stages. You can see that the conditions of these athletes They're very, very different from each other. And now we can see for the women's marathon, the first place is Magdalene Masai from Kenya, with the pacemaker right there. She's running at the pace of 3:28 per kilometers. And now we can see the close-up for the first place in Chinese athletes, 贾俄人家. Now, 贾俄人家 is also running towards the end, and he'll just have to run past the last turn of his match, and then where he'll hit the finish line. I think he's the star that people are very keen to watch on this race for the Chinese crowd. Let's cheer him up a bit. Come on, 贾俄人家. And we can see that 贾俄人家 has speeding up a little bit towards the last straight course of the match. Okay, now we have, for the fourth place, Lemi Bey from Ethiopia, finishing at 2:13:32. And the fifth place goes to Demiki Bikseng, Ethiopia, 2:13:38. Now, 贾俄人家 is running towards the finishing line. And now he's checking his watch again to see if he ends well. And he's cheering, waving and asking for cheerings on his last stages of the running. He's enjoying this moment. It's his moment as the first Chinese athlete to finish the Lanzhou Marathon. Today, 2024. Yes, he stopped and stopped a little while to catch his breath, and let's wait for his result. Yes, 贾俄人家 finishing at 2:14:32 at the pace of 3:12 per kilometers. Not bad at all. Not bad. The fastest Chinese athlete today. Yeah, he's very confident and happy about his results. And just behind him, Guan Yousheng from China is also at his last stages of running, checking his watch. Bib number 14. Come on, you just have a few more 100 meters to go. As we can see, before the U-turn, before the athletes can see the finishing line, they will still remain in a very, calm and composed and very concentrated the way of looking. And they concentrated in the game, concentrated in the pace and the way they stretches their legs. But after the turn, and when they can see the finishing line right there, they immediately change to the mode of enjoying the race and enjoying the cheering of the crowd, enjoying his moment, enjoying the finishing of such a hard game. And that's Guan Yousheng. The last little curve right there, and let's see at what time he's finished. He's just looking back on his shoulders to see if there are anyone catching up to him. If there is anyone catching up to him, there will be Yin Shunjing from China. Okay, that's a close-up for Guan Yousheng. He's running at a pace of 3:15 per minute per kilometers. He's also waving to the crowd just now. You can see the people recording this moment and they're cheering along the way. The second fastest Chinese contestant in this marathon. 管尤胜。We need just a moment for his result to come out. Guan Yousheng finishing at 2:17:23 right there. He's from Guizhou. And now we have Yin Shunjing running towards the finishing line. He's not nearly in the elite groups because you can see on his bib number it's A24845 in Shunjing, but he's also finished the race at a very fast rate, and that is something to be remembered. Yin Shunjing, which is not among the elite groups that was invited to the Lanzhou Marathon, has finished at 8th place, at 2:18:18. Congratulations, very well done. And now we can see for the women's marathon, we have still one pacer. And the first, women's first, is Magdalene Masai from Kenya. Magdalene, she's wearing a white shirt right there on the screen, you can see. And she's running still at a very steady pace. And I think she's in good conditions. So last year's women's first is 2:29:09, made by an Ethiopian, Gabriel Selassie. And now Madeleine has the chance of breaking the record. She's running at a pace of 2:27 per kilometers, and she's I think she's very lucky to get the pacer for her to go along the way, so that she won't lose any speed right there. She still has the chance to finish. If she continues to run at the pace right now at 3:27 per kilometers, she will be finishing. Madeleine Masai from Kenya will be finishing at 2:25:04. Let's see if she can keep up. Now we can see Wang Tao from China has also finished the marathon, the men's marathon, at 2:19:47, taking the 9th place. And the 10th place may go to Hong Yue. Yes, the last 100 meters for Hong Yue. Let's see what his results are. So basically, the marathon runners, they're crossing the Jingyan Bridge. You can see right there. They're very steady and they're trying to catch their breath. And it's all about to conserve your energy and then to finish the latter half of the race. They're running. We can see the man on wheelchair still running right there, just past the 17 kilometers, and he's very happy about it. Yes, we have Hong Yue, bib number 22, finishing at 2:22:20 at the pace of 3:23 per kilometers. Congratulations, the first 10. So for the first 10, finishing today's men's marathon, we have 5 African runners taking the first 5, and the latter half belongs to China. The 5 Chinese athletes finishing the marathon race at first is 甲俄人家, Guan Yousheng, Ying Shunjing, Wang Tao, and Hong Yue. Congratulations. Very well done. Very well done, boys. Now we can see the women's marathon runners reaching the finishing line as well. The first place right there, and we can see the pacer is trying to get the women marathon runner to the right course right there in the run. Madeleine Masai. And let's see where she's finishing. Yes, she's on the right course right there. And there's a high chance that she could break the meeting record right there. The last 100 meters, the last 50 meters right there. Let's go. Madeleine Masai from Kenya. Let's cheer her up. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Madeleine Masai from Kenya has finished the women's marathon at first place. Let's wait for her result to come out. Very well done, girl. Very well done. She's very likely. She's very likely to have break the meeting record. Let's see. Yes, Madeleine Masai from Kenya, finishing at 2:24:45, breaking the meeting record, bringing the record up to 4 minutes. That's really well done, girl. So that's the second place, running toward the finishing line for women's marathon. Tadlech Nedi. Wow, it's so different from last year, because last year, when the boys are finishing the marathon, they are breaking the meeting record, and the girls, they just follow up, and then they break the record as well. But this year, the boys, they stay in, a very safe, result right there. But the girls have bring up the record of the meeting up to 4 minutes. That's wow. That's really good. Really well done. Okay, the second place for the women's marathon goes to Tadlech Bekele Nedi at 2:26:23, also breaking the meeting record at the pace of 3:29 per kilometers. Oh, she's crying. I hope there's happy tears. That definitely is a happy tear for the marathon. She has run against the meeting record. Now the third place, running towards the end. Factor Amatsu also from Ethiopia. She hasn't speed up, but yeah, she has run across from his head to his shoulders. Fakta Amasu from Ethiopia, finishing at 2:27:30. Third place, also breaking the meeting record of 2:29:09 set by Haile Gebrselassie, author from Ethiopia, last year in Lanzhou Marathon. Oh my God, it is really good. What a race. So now for the women's, the Chinese Women's League. We have Wang Ming leading the Chinese women athletes, followed by Deng Shujia, Jiao Wanjing, and Zhong Jiaomeng. They just passed the Yellow River Tower right there. Wang Ming show their personal best 2:33:04, and she's from Guizhou, bib number 41. Her breakthrough is in 2022 in Beijing Marathon, reaching finishing with a result of 2:33:05, takes the third place, entering that the first time that she enters 2:35:0. And recently, just this April, last month, she runs at 2:36:53 at Huai'an Marathon. At the last stages of her run, she has put his sunglasses up and stretching her legs very widely and at a very steady speed as well. Now we have the fourth place for women's marathon from Ethiopia, Wagnesh Makasha Amare, finishing at 2:28:13 at the pace of 3:31, also breaking the meeting record. Oh my God, the first for breaking the meeting record. So Wang Ming is estimated to be at the 7th place. She may take the 7th place in today's match. She's looking very calm right there. Well done. Oh, and at the very last stages, she decided to take in some electrolytes and water and then throws it away. The last stages is very important, and I think the athletes running just behind her are trying to imitate her. Well, yeah, that's Wang Ming taking some water to splash on her body and also to drink it, so that to cool down his body temperature, as well as to take in and to supplement some water. Wang Ming from China. Come on. She's currently running at a pace of 3:46 per kilometer. Right now we can see there's a pack of 3 with mixed female and male athletes running there. Wang Ming leading the pack. Wang Ming will be the first Chinese athlete to finish this marathon. Yeah, now we got the 5th and 6th place, all from Ethiopia for women's marathon today. Gutani Imana finishing at 2:30:59, 5th place. And the 6th place goes to Yeshi Cheko from Ethiopia, finishing at 2:31:04. And Zhao Anjing has also entered the 40 kilometers, and she's running at a pace of 3:50. And then we have Zhong Jiameng just behind that. Zhao Anjing's breakthrough came in the, I remember it was 2017 Guangzhou Marathon, where she secured the domestic women's runner-up title just at the age of 23, finishing at 2:40:17. And when she come back from the 2023 Xiamen Marathon, which is a triumphant combat, finishing at 2:33:12, which is also her personal best. And last Sunday, just recently, she runs in the Lanzhou International Marathon and finishing at 2:49:46, taking the 3rd place. And she lost to 2 Ethiopian athletes. Should have cost her much energy because she just ran a full marathon last Sunday. And now we've got Chinese women's marathon group, the first Chinese women's marathoners to finish the marathon, to finish the race, are Wang Ming, Jiao Anjing, Zhong Jiameng, and Deng Shujia. Now let's wait for Wang Ming to take the 7th place. So for the last stages of the marathon, I think it's really important for the Chinese athletes to not follow up the African athletes at the very first stages, and to stay in their pace, in a comfortable pace, and to maintain their energy during the last stages of the race, which is the hardest to finish. Okay, now we can see Wang Ming is running towards the end of the marathon. So basically, when you look at the first place of Madeleine Masai from Kenya, her pace is very steady at 3:27:28 till the 35 kilometers, where she speeded up and finished at the pace of 3:26. Now we can see Wang Ming, bib number 41. The last stages of the run, the last straight little course right there. She's making her way towards the finishing line. Hope the camera is not too distracting. Right now we can see Wang Ming running very steady and even speeding up a little bit at the last stage. The first women Chinese athlete to finish the marathon, Wang Ming. The last curve, when she makes the turn, she can see the finishing line right there. And let's also take a look right now at the elite Chinese female athlete groups. Zhong Jiameng is from Jiangxi, born in 2002, and her personal best is 2:36.44, made in 2023 Shantou Marathon. And Deng Shujia, bib number 39, from Gansu, 2:31.53, made also in 2023 Wuxi Marathon. Now let's take a look at Wang Ming's last 100 meters. Right there. She's running at a steady speed of 3:46 per kilometers. That is the first female athlete to finish today's marathon, Wang Ming from China. And she's waving and bowing to the crowd to thank the crowd for their welcoming. Bib number 41, Wang Ming, takes the 7th place in today's women's marathon and 1st place for the Chinese female. Her result is 2:38.37 with a pace of 3:46. And now is Zhong Jiameng in pink shirt right there. Zhong Jiameng is also running at a very steady speed, with a drink on her hand. Then it's really breathtaking, yeah, to see these women so tenacious to finish such a hard race, to push their limits. And last 100 meters for Zhong Jiameng, and she will be the first two to finish the women's marathon today. The Chinese female marathoners are less likely to, finish the Lanzhou Marathon with a personal best because of the altitude, the humidity, and also the pace right here. But they're still trying their best. And the second Chinese female to finish the Lanzhou Marathon today. Zhong Jiameng, the second best Chinese female athlete finishing today's marathon. Wow, she's crunching. She's pumping her chest, trying to catch her breath. Zhong Jiameng finishing at 2:41.11 with a pace of 3:50 per kilometers. And that just finished the Jiao Anjing from China. Just finished the women's marathon, the 3rd best, finishing at 2:41.42, just 30 seconds behind the Zhong Jiameng. Her pace was 3:50. I think Zhao Wenjing did very well in the first half of the marathon with a pace of 3:45, but after 30 kilometers, her pace has dropped immediately to 3:50, and that is why she's finishing a little bit behind the other Chinese female athlete. And for Wang Ming, the first Chinese female athlete to finish the race, she has run pretty fast during the first 15 kilometers right there with a pace of 3:37 to 3:39 per kilometer. And after that, her pace dropped to 3:44 to 3:46. But she remained very steady during the latter stages of the run, which shows her great techniques in the marathon running. And then he maintained that pace till the end when she finished at 2:38.37. Very well done. And for Zhong Jiameng, her pace was very steady. At first, just around 3:50, and she remained 3:50, 3:49, starting from starting from 20 kilometers till the end. And that is very good as well. So basically, for Chinese female athletes and the African female athletes, the difference, the gap, there's still a very obvious gap between them, because the first place, Madeleine Masai from Kenya, her pace is always within 3:30. Basically, the slowest is 3:28, but basically she remains the same speed at 3:27, 3:28, until the end 3:26, which means she's has a minimum energy expenditure, as we said, and going always at a very steady speed till the end. The average speed is very, very good. And for the second place for female marathon runners, Tadalech Neddy. I think she lags a little bit behind in the last 2 kilometers, because before that she runs at a pace of 3:28 at very steady, very averagely. But then she was trying to catch her breath. That's very obvious from the camera, and then her pace has dropped to 3:29. So this is a great race today for Lanzhou Marathon. And let's recap for the results. For the first 10 to finish the men's marathon here in Lanzhou today, Afuk Wutenza, finishing at 2:10.23 at a pace of 3:06. And Joe Kimura from Kenya, finishing at 2:10.38. And Angela Bilay Shefro from Ethiopia, finishing at 2:11.06. And for Chinese male athlete Jia Renjia, finishing at 2:14.33. You Guan Yosheng, finishing at 2:17.23. And Ying Shunjing, 2:18.18. Wang Tao, 2:19.47. And Hong Yue, 2:22.20. And for women's marathon, the first 3, Madeleine Masai from Kenya, finishing at 2:24.45. Tadalech Neddy from Ethiopia, 2:26.23, second place. And third place, Fakat Warata Amasu from Ethiopia, 2:27.30. And for the Chinese female athletes, we have Wang Ming finishing first at 2:38.37. Zhong Jiameng, 2:41.11. Jiao Anjing, 2:41.42. And Deng Shujia, 2:43.25. What a race today. And now we can see the ground is filled with the bottles finished by those marathon runners. They're running towards the end, and they're very tenacious right there. And I admire them from the bottom of my heart, because they stick to the course and try to finish at the end. So, yeah, we can still see the male runners running towards the end. And they were checking their watches, and they look very pleased with their results and with the fact that they finished the race. They're all finishing within the 2:50, which is really good for them. So, yeah, what a race today, especially for women's marathon runners, for breaking the meeting records. Now the new record is set by Madeline Masai from Kenya, finishing at 2:24:45, refreshing and bringing up the result of the Lanzhou Marathon to 2:24:45, within the 2:25:0. Oh my gosh, it'll be a hard record yet to be surpassed. And there it is, folks. We've crossed the finish line at the 2024 Lanzhou Marathon. What a race it's been. From the electrifying start along the Yellow River to the culturally enriching journey through the heart of Lanzhou, these runners have battled the elements, pushed their limits, and experienced the very essence of this remarkable city. And huge, huge congratulations to all the marathon finishers. You've conquered a challenging course, embraced the beauty of Lanzhou, and become part of the city's ever-growing marathon legacy. So a special round of applause for our winners today, who have displayed phenomenal athleticism and determination. But let's not forget the spirit of every single runner who participated. Whether you were a seasoned marathoner or a first-time competitor, you've brought your energy, your passion, and your unwavering spirit to the streets of Lanzhou, and you will be remembered. You've embodied the true essence of this race, a celebration of human potential and cultural exploration. And the 2024 Lanzhou Marathon has been a spectacle to behold. The breathtaking scenery, the vibrant cultural landmarks, and enthusiastic cheers of the crowd have contributed to an unforgettable experience for me as well. As we bid farewell to this year's race, we already look forward to what the 2025 will bring. Until then, let the memories of this extraordinary day linger, and let the spirit of the Yellow River continue to inspire you. And congratulations again to all the marathon runners today, and also congratulations to the ones who haven't finished but still doing their best till the end, till the very end that they can last. So, goodbye, and I'll see you next year, hopefully. It's Capri, Bao Shanshan, live from Lanzhou Marathon 2024. Goodbye. Hope you enjoy the journey, as I do.
也在向终点跑来。我们女子国内的选手的竞争还是比较的激烈，尤其是在我们大众组的层面，竞争是非常的激烈的。现在我们女子国内组也是有5位选手完成了比赛，而现在马上要到破3的时刻了。此刻抵达终点的选手平均配速是在4分07秒，用4:07的配速跑完一场全程马拉松，相当于是他们在操场的每一圈用时是1分40秒，他们每1秒钟能够跑到4米以上。你们试一下，每1秒钟跑4米是什么样的一个速度概念？试一下自己能不能坚持1公里，能不能坚持5公里？他们是在用每1秒钟4米以上的速度持续的跑完了42公里。如果操场来换算的话，操场每一圈他们的用时是1分40秒以内，每公里的配速是410以内，这是非常快的了。而且在蓝马我说过，我们真实的实力要在这个配速上还要减去10秒钟，也就是说他们其实真实的实力啊都是在2小时50分左右的高手。各位朋友们，现在距离颁奖仪式还有1会儿的时间，但是现在这个时刻，我觉得我们不能够错过，因为再过2分钟就是我们全马的破3的时刻了。那么全马破3时刻，我也希望我们有更多的朋友能够在今天的蓝马 顺利的完成全马破三的壮举。因为全马破三意味着您是我们中国跑者中的天花板。来自跑步公园俱乐部的大神，那这个时候也是顺利的破三了，带领着跑步公园的旗帜。好吧，英红老师，我们来放下破三的音乐。各位亲爱的朋友们，这一路你是怎样的奔跑与前进？这一路遇到了怎样的挫折与困难？在这一路上，你有多少次想放弃的时候，想流汗流泪的时候呢？但是我们坚持下来了，各位朋友们，距离终点最后的200-300米，距离破三时刻最后的1分20秒，但是现在的每一秒钟都可能像慢镜头一样。为了我们破三大军全程领跑的4位300的破三兔，他们分别是马学平、李继晨、石坤和张诗军。感谢各位，让我们共同为我们的破三时刻倒计5个数：5、4、3、2、1。我们再次的祝贺所有的朋友，在今天蓝马顺利的破三了。各位亲爱的朋友们，为了迎接我们的破三时刻，咱们的颁奖仪式啊，都向后延迟了几分钟，所以破三对于我们的选手来说是最为重要的。各位朋友们，但是现在，请您将目光锁定到我们的舞台，在为咱们选手加油的时候呢，一起来关注一下本次赛事的颁奖仪式。女士们、先生们，兰州银行杯2024兰州马拉松全程男子组的颁奖仪式现在开始，有请获奖运动员和颁奖嘉宾登上主席台。The World Marathon Ceremony of Men in Bangkok Lanzhou Cup 2024 Lanzhou Marathon will now begin. Let's welcome the honored guests and players.第3名，贝雷·施菲若，来自埃塞俄比亚，成绩为2小时11分06秒。The third prize winner is Bray Ferrero from Ethiopia. Congratulations. 第2名，凯姆·博伊·吉姆瑞尔，来自肯尼亚，成绩为2小时10分38秒。The second prize winner is Kimboy Kimurere from Kenya. 第1名，梅斯芬·沃德特尼萨，来自埃塞俄比亚，成绩2小时10分23秒。The first prize winner is Mesfen Wotanisa from Ethiopia. 下面有请兰州市委副书记、市长刘建军为获奖运动员颁发奖杯，欢迎。Now let's welcome Mr. Liu Jianxun to award the trophy for winners. 下面有请兰州市人大常委会副主任汪永国为获奖运动员颁发奖牌，欢迎。Now let's welcome Mr. Wang Yongguo to award the medal for winners. 下面有请兰州银行党委书记、董事长许建平为获奖运动员颁发奖票，欢迎。Now let's welcome Mr. 许建平 to award the prize for winners. 下面请颁奖嘉宾移步台前，与获奖运动员合影留念。Now let's take a photograph together. 让我们再次用热烈的掌声向获奖运动员表示祝贺。好的，再次的祝贺运动员，同时感谢我们颁奖嘉宾，请移步台下稍事休息，谢谢。女士们、先生们，兰州银行杯2024兰州马拉松全程女子组的颁奖仪式现在开始，有请获奖运动员和颁奖嘉宾登上主席台。The World Marathon Ceremony of Women in Bank of Lanzhou Cup 2024 Lanzhou Marathon will now begin. Let's welcome the honored guests and players. 第3名，沃瑞塔·阿德马苏，来自埃塞俄比亚，成绩为2小时27分30秒。The third prize winner is Orita Adamas from Ethiopia. 请向前一步，登上属于您的荣誉的舞台。第2名，贝克勒尼迪，来自埃塞俄比亚，成绩为2小时26分23秒。The second prize winner is Bekele Nidi from Ethiopia. Congratulations. 第1名，马格达利尼·马萨伊，来自肯尼亚，成绩为2小时24分46秒。The first prize winner is Magdalene Masai from Kenya. 下面有请甘肃省体育局局长王向晨为获奖运动员颁发奖杯，欢迎。Now let's welcome Mr. Wang Xiangchen to award the trophy for winners. 下面有请兰州市人民政府副市长杨平为获奖运动员颁发奖牌，欢迎。Now let's welcome Mrs. Yang Ping to award the medal for winners. 下面有请中侨体育兰州分公司总经理吕振川为获奖运动员颁发奖票，欢迎。Now let's welcome Mr. 吕振川 to award the prize for winners. 请颁奖嘉宾移步台前，与获奖运动员合影留念。Now let's take a photograph together. 亲爱的各位朋友们，让我们用热烈的掌声向获奖运动员表示祝贺。请颁奖嘉宾和获奖运动员移步台下休息，谢谢。好的，看完了颁奖仪式，我们还有中国籍的颁奖仪式。 刚才是我们整个蓝马的全马男女的颁奖仪式。那么我们5位中国籍的选手呢，还专门在后面还会有一个颁奖仪式。但是在现在，我们把目光回来锁定赛道，来看一看全马310的一个时刻。为什么说全马310是一个特别重要的时刻呢？原因有2。第一点，全马3小时10分是目前女子国家1级运动员的标准。跑进了310，意味着您女子全马达标国家1级。第2，是因为3小时10分是男子曾经的国家2级运动员的标准。也就是说，如果您全马跑进了310，达标老的国家2级啊，新的不是了，新的是253，老的是310。同时呢，要想全马跑进310，您必须拿出每公里4分半的配速。所以全马跑出4分半的配速，达标310，男子达标老的国2，女子直接达标国1。现在距离310大关还剩下40秒。就算我们没有破3，但是在蓝马赛场您跑进310，那么在最为完美的环境下，也是具备破3的实力的。想破3，到了下半年去中国最平坦的赛道衡水湖去看一看，去那里去破3。蓝马我们破310就可以了。我们祝贺所有在蓝马赛场跑进了310大关的选手，无论是您的赛会的总成绩，还是自己的今天的净成绩，跑进310，我们都算是破了310大关。那么蓝马赛场跑到310这个标准的选手啊，是人声鼎沸了，扎堆出现，这也代表了咱们蓝马赛场的实力与水平。我们说呀，衡量一个赛事的水平，它不仅要看那些站台选手的成绩，更多的是看我们大众高手的大众精英的一个厚度。跑进300的，跑进310的，跑进330的，这些我们大众精英的成绩的厚度，代表着我们蓝马真实的水平。所以现在您虽然在3小时10分左右完赛，但依然是位于我们中国所有的马拉松选手中，属于是在前10%的存在呀。蓝马总共是有2万名全马跑者，您现在的这个位置应该还是在前2000名以内。我们蓝马的310要比其他赛事要难一些，我说过了，海拔有一些，温度高一些，所以呢，平均配速要比在完美状况下的赛事可能会慢那么10到15秒钟。也就是说，您可以给自己的这个完赛成绩减10分钟，就是您在最为完美的状况下跑一个全马，理论上能够达到的成绩。但是还好，我们在终点是在10点40分左右，温度还没上升起来，现在的气温也不过就是在22度左右，所以呢，很幸运，我们在昨天看到了一个艳阳高照的周六，但是我们在周日的时候感受到的是一个非常凉爽的清晨。各位亲爱的朋友们，我觉得因为您的努力，因为您的拼搏，老天爷都被感动了呀。他躲在云层之后的骄阳，一直到上午的11点前后，才缓缓地露出他娇羞的面庞。那么在300的破3兔之后呢，我们全马其实有11位配速员，11组配速员。接下来再过1分多钟，我们第2组配速员全马315的兔子，迈着437的配速也会抵达终点。 各位，时间马上要到3小时15分了。虽然呢315并不是一个特别重要的门槛儿，但是咱们蓝马组委会呢还是为了3小时15分的我们的跑友配置了315的兔子。他们用平均每公里4分37秒的配速，持续的定速巡航，42.195公里来到终点。我们315的兔子这个时候已经出现在了咱们视野的前方。现在您完赛的平均配速呢是在每公里4分36秒，我说的是一个赛会的一个配速，并不算您个人的一个芯片的配速。因为在我们的 A 区的后面是 B 区，我们 B 区的选手呢也有许多在今天跑进了315的运动员，但是他们的枪成绩和净成绩之间的差距呢就会有差不多1-2分钟。因此呢，我们需要再次的祝贺所有在今天的蓝马有了上佳表现的运动员。同时，我们也需要感谢咱们本次比赛的第2组官兔咱们蓝马315的官兔，他们用每公里4分37秒配速定速巡航了42.195公里。他们分别是康清虎、张成慈、廖张栋和尹东奇。就在这个时候，咱们的乌贼也迈着315的轻快的步伐，用437的配速带领着乌贼军团顺利的过线了。我们也祝贺沈乌贼。乌贼是一路跑一路拍一路制作视频，在这样的状况下还能跑到315，作为一位全马 PB 在2小时40多分的高手来说，今天是在以玩耍的心态在体验蓝马，在感受蓝马。我们也祝贺乌贼顺利的完赛了。女士们、先生们，兰州银行杯2024兰州马拉松赛中国级全程男子组的颁奖仪式现在开始，让我们有请3位获奖运动员登上主席台。获得第3名的是我们已经年满39岁的青海，来自于云南惠泽，但是当年在青海队的名将尹顺基尹指导，他的成绩为2小时18分18秒，祝贺尹指导。获得第2位的运动员是来自于我们贵州六盘水的名将管尤胜，我们的管神，他的成绩为2小时17分23秒，祝贺管神。获得我们中国级冠军的是我们青海名将，也是我们中国马拉松大众一哥贾俄人家，他的夺冠成绩为2小时14分32秒，祝贺贾俄。下面我们有请兰州市体育局局长郭德涛为获奖运动员颁发奖杯，欢迎。今天咱们是必须为贾俄点赞，因为贾俄是从起跑开始就非常的强势，对自己充满了自信，一路跟随着男子第1集团，一直跟随到了半程之后，所以贾俄的这个成绩也是跑进了215大关，非常的优秀。接下来我们有请兰州银行党委副书记、行长涂武金为获奖运动员颁发奖牌，欢迎。在男子国内组的第2集团，管尤胜和尹指导2个人交替的领跑，一直在一前一后的相伴随行。好的成绩少不了一个好的对手兼队友的支持和加持帮助，所以呢，今天也是在相互的帮衬之下，尹顺基和管尤胜最终是以国内组的2、3位完赛，祝贺。接下来我们有请比亚迪汽车海洋网销售事业部的总经理张卓为获奖运动员颁发奖票，欢迎。好的，有请我们3位嘉宾移步台前，与获奖运动员合影留念。好，贾俄、管神还有尹指导，来，右手高举奖杯，让我们再次的对3位运动员表示祝贺。好的，感谢我们3位嘉宾，同时祝贺我们3位运动员，祝贺贾俄，祝贺管尤胜，祝贺尹顺基，祝贺。 女士们、先生们，兰州银行杯2024兰州马拉松，我们国内女子全马的颁奖仪式现在开始。让我们有请获奖运动员，还有我们颁奖嘉宾登上主席台。获得第3名的是我们山东姑娘焦安静，她的成绩为2小时41分42秒，祝贺安静。获得第2名的是我们江西一姐钟佳萌，她的成绩为2小时41分11秒，祝贺。获得冠军的是贵州名将王敏，她的夺冠成绩是2小时38分37秒，打开了240大关，祝贺王敏。下面我们有请兰州市体育局副局长刘凤霞为获奖运动员颁发奖杯，欢迎。接下来有请中国人保甘肃分公司副总经理魏鑫为获奖运动员颁发奖牌，欢迎。今天的比赛过程之中，王敏是遥遥领先，但是钟佳萌和安静的2、3名之争，一直到终点前才分出了胜负，真的是非常的激烈，也非常的不容易。而这就是姑娘们她们所代表的中国女子马拉松的精神所在。接下来我们有请西藏奇正藏药股份有限公司副总裁夏海建为获奖运动员颁发奖票，欢迎。好的，有请3位嘉宾移步台前，与获奖运动员合影留念。好，王敏、佳萌还有安静，请用你们的右手把奖杯举过头顶。来，摄影师准备，3、2、1，让我们现场的掌声、呐喊声再来一遍。好的，感谢我们3位嘉宾，同时祝贺我们3位姑娘，请退场。各位亲爱的朋友们，到此我们本次赛事的颁奖仪式就全部的结束了，但是赛事还在进行。我们全马的关门时间是6小时10分，一直要到中午到下午的1点40分，我们才到达关门的时刻。所以呢，现在距离咱们的关门时间还有接近3个小时，我们可以从容不迫的用。
山桥很长，没有思念长。平和路上唱歌的人，那在那他你？年少时的啤酒摊，是谁宿醉的早上？醒不了的黄河边，只有你和那月亮。九泉路飘，槐花儿香。银潭桥下看夕阳，正宁路上浪两趟，卖醪糟的味道还是一样难遗忘。你好兰州，唱你的 座桥下那条河流淌在心上。
你好兰州，你好蓝马，
你好兰州，
蓝马加油！
你好兰州，
画你的模样，那一碗牛肉面，它伴在我身旁。
你好兰州，你好兰州，你好蓝马。Hello， 你好兰州，你好蓝马。你好兰州，你好蓝马。蓝马我来了，加油加油加油！
兰州加油！我来了。
在夏天的晚上，星星落在蓝山，那时我们牵手看繁星璀璨。转眼间好多年，一切都在变，你早已成了家，那朵花未曾改变。九泉路飘，槐花儿香，银盘桥下看夕阳，证明路上浪两趟，麦醪糟的味道还是一样难遗忘。你好兰州，唱你的歌谣，那座桥下那条河流淌在心上。你好兰州，画你的模样，那一碗牛肉面，它伴在我身旁。